Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
accepting this interview. I'm now very grateful that I have opportunity to meet you as a person and that we have this great time together.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be part of this amazing publication as well.
You are one of the founders of Bio Emulation Group.
That's correct.
What is your purpose with creating this group?
They say that man is a social beast. That's what they say. So, and nobody is an island. You need more to surround yourself with positive people if you want to exceed your limitations. And bioemulation as a concept was developed back in around 2009. I trademarked the term in 2010, but as a society, it came to existence in 2011. And the goal was to find like-minded individuals and share our dental experiences amongst each other, and also our dental frustrations. Be very open and try to overcome your limitations. And eventually it grew into something very organic. It has a loose form of structure today, and hopefully we're going to be able to bring this to more dental practitioners, whether they're technicians, researchers, or clinicians.
What are the important fields of research the group is focusing on?
Well, up until recently, it's been adhesive-based dental modalities, and also histoanatomy in terms of morphology. So I honestly believe that the alpha and the omega of comprehension in dentistry, whether it's on the clinical or the technical side, has to be morphology. You need to understand form, and you need to understand not only external enamel form, but you have to understand internal dentin form, and this explodes the possibilities to examine it on a optical standpoint, but also on a functional standpoint. So if we are to move forward in the future and we want to create new restorative modalities, we have to understand the biomechanics of the flexure of teeth. We need to understand how we can bond predictably to the different substrates. So restorative is definitely a hot topic. I would like to see more research going into prevention. This would be a dream. And as we diversify and we bring more members within the group, maybe this is going to extend into other fields of the dental sciences. Now I'm a recently qualified orthodontist, but I'm an orthodontist who respects occlusion. So one of my topics in the future is going to be the maxillary occlusal plane and occlusion in general. So that's a new endeavor, that's a new chapter in my personal development of research. So it's very open, very organic, but primarily adhesive-based as a team. Yeah.
What is the best advice you ever received and followed?
Stay true to yourself is the best advice, and don't conform to normality. You should question your environment. You should question your own belief systems, and you need to understand, know thyself. You need to self-calibrate constantly. So the moment that you're starting to feel comfortable in your shoes is the moment that you need to recalibrate. This is what I think. Quality is all about pride in your work, and it's the consequence of effort. Quality is not random. Quality is very specific. Quality is what makes life worth living and striving for. The most important value is education and self-awareness with the patients. We serve as the first line to really give them the insight. The second one is definitely prevention, especially me being a young father of 2 children. Nature is so beautiful that we have to do everything in our power to preserve and conserve. And finally, only when needed, only then should we intervene. And we have to intervene conscientiously with evidence-based modalities and I'm not saying minimal right here, because I don't believe in minimal intervention in the way that we're using the term today. I think it's being overused and abused, meaning you have to do it, but you have to do it the right way.
what do you recommend to your young dental colleagues or
Yeah.
young dental technicians? They will develop skill set like masters.
Yeah, well, you need to stay hungry and you need to stay humble. I mean, this is pretty much the foundation, and by all means, you need to stay curious, and you need to definitely expand your imagination. Only then can you really excel and thrive. So there needs to be a profound desire in what they do, and they need to do it for the right reasons. And I think if this mix, if this amalgamation of keeping your ego in check, but at the same time being satisfied along the journey, you need to experience failure. You need to experience success. It tempers you as a character, and I think just stay true to yourself and be passionate, and everything else should fall in place.
What is your vision, and what do you want to share with
the world?
Yeah.
Don't be driven by personal success is clearly my recommendation. Try to build a better world around you in the physical dimension, not only for yourself but also for the people you love and you like interacting. And I think if everybody does that, I think we're going to be happier and society's just going to be elevated.
So if you could go back in time
Yeah.
and give advice to your 20 years old self, what would it be?
I would try to stay active, more active physically, and that's something that I have in my agenda to get back in tune with my 20-year-old self. Because this particular job, it takes a toll on you. It's sedentary. It's stationary, and if you like to eat, and especially good food, and I think you like to eat good food as well, because Armenian food is phenomenal, you need to be active, because if you're passionate about it, the hours are long. You start early in the morning, you finish late at night, and if the ergonomics are not there, it's going to take a toll, physical. So I don't have any regrets to go back and make major changes in what I've done. I'm pretty happy with the trajectory of my personal life and my career, but I would have to stress that you need to take care of your personal, find personal space and time to also take care of yourself throughout this journey. Yeah.
Do you have any quotes that you live your life by or think of often? Now it's a philosophical part.
My favorite one is it's called pan metron ariston, which means all in moderation. So I believe that you should try to experience life to its fullest extent, but not to go beyond the limit. Success is very subjective, and levels of success. How much success does one need, or how much money does one need, or how much attention does one? You see, there are limits.
Yeah.
And if you overcome a limit, then you're going to lose dramatically in another sector. You look at the great SPA, S-P-A, SPA. You can never forget it after I explain it to you like this. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, SPA. That is the linear progression. One was a student of the other, okay? They all said amazing things. They changed Western civilization, Western thinking, okay? They did it 3,000 years ago. They didn't have laptops, iPhones. They had nothing. They didn't have GPS. But they can talk to you about the celestial bodies, and they can talk to you about mathematics and everything like that. How the hell did they do that, man?
There is the source.
There is a source. Where is the source?
Everywhere.
Because every time you look at a star, that happened billions of years ago. That's the past. You're looking at the past and we're mesmerized. Try to look at the future, my friend. You don't know in which direction to look at.
No.
But when you look up, you see the past. Which is weird,
But they say where focus goes, energy flows.
You're
So
right.
you can do something, but not everything. One title of the book is Placebo Effect, how it works.
Yeah.
How is it possible that you simulate a room like a bar,
Yeah.
and you give people
Yeah.
just a tonic,
And they think they're getting drunk.
and they behave like that.
Yeah. Placebo. It's
Yeah.
super strong.
Also, when people are sick,
Oh.
and you give them placebo, they feel better.
It's the biochemistry of the mind. You can trick the mind. The mind is very susceptible to the power of persuasion and belief. Everybody has a strong belief system within them, and you just have to ignite it We don't know anything. You look at the Buddhist monks and the levels of nirvana that they can achieve, and through meditation and everything like that. And
There is another way
it's been scientifically proven that you can get
to
there.
achieve nirvana
How?
without anything.
Mm-hmm.
My father's he's like authority, and he taught me to behave correctly, to think before you speak, things like this.
Yeah.
At one point I was very introvert, and then when we moved to Netherlands, I was not social at all, introvert. So, and I was very bad with women. I couldn't speak with them. I didn't know what to do, nothing. So I was very depressed. I had two choices: or I give up, or I go and learn it. And then I had many mentors in approaching, learning how to
approach girls.
Yes.
Really?
And
I could have used that mentorship at some point.
so it helped me a lot. And what happened is that they called building momentum, social momentum. Follow your intention.
Yeah.
You see someone and you want to go.
Yeah.
You must go.
Yeah.
So you trust yourself.
Yeah.
You go. You speak.
Yeah.
And then you go to another.
Yeah.
And at one point you are exploding. Nirvana.
Really?
You are in such a headspace. You
No
cannot-
way.
Without alcohol, without
Without
drugs.
anything. It's just this rush of exposing yourself because
Yeah,
it's exposure.
Exposure and
Yeah.
also overcoming your fears.
That's what you're doing. That's why these adrenaline junkies, they do what they do, because they get to that point. Because they fear, but they love what they overcome when they overcome their fear.
Yeah.
And you had, this was your barrier, so you had to break it.
Yeah.
You need good people around you
To-
who pull you away at the
Yeah.
last minute, my friend. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are social beasts. Surround yourself with positive people and everything's going to be okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for this amazing advice. And
Coming from the heart.